Hey, plumbing bros, welcome to Potty Talk Live, where we take it into the trenches with crawl spaces, basements, kitchens, and baths all around this golden globe of ours to talk to plumbing professionals just like you. Hi, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, with the lovely Laura.
Hello.
Coming at you live from Command Central here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana,
It's just
USA.
beautiful.
It's a beautiful day today. The rain was so beautiful.
It was rainy.
Hey, every day's a fun
yucky.
day,
I
and it's a
know.
beautiful day. You gotta love a rainy day. And you know that we loved rainy days when we with the plumbing business.
That was a lot better.
Because not just because of sump pumps, people think because of sump pumps, that kind of thing. But
like
you
this.
guys out there know that barometric pressure affects the plumbing.
It does, but I liked it because of the sump pumps.
But the sump pumps,
Yes.
and we'd get a rash of water heater calls.
We would.
all kind of
boy.
stuff. Hey, everybody, how you doing?
So it used to make us happy when it would rain. Now that we don't have the plumbing business anymore, not so
Now
much.
it's just rain.
Yeah, it's just
We
rain.
feel happy for you guys, though. we're happy for you. That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
We're all about being happy for you.
Is that what we
Hey,
are?
baby, how you doing?
I'm good.
You looking good.
Thank
I
you.
feel a little, just kind of a little.
You're a little
I
underdressed.
just got my little,
your funnel hacker
shirt. That
Who knows what funnel hacker is?
Yeah. Hey, let
Probably
us know if you know what it
confusing.
is in the comments. Let us know.
Probably confusing people.
All right.
Funnel hacker, but it's still a fun shirt.
Yep.
So it's a fun little
So,
shirt.
hey, baby, it's
thank
good
you.
to see you here.
Thank you.
So,
You did Potty Talk Live last night with the sales. That was a
our
great episode.
sales,
Our
sales
plumbing's
buddy, my
expert,
little
yes.
sales
Chris
buddy.
Fresh, CF, yes.
He's a cute little elf. Isn't he?
He's kind of love that you said
right.
that about
But
him.
probably one of the
But it was
best
a great
sales guys
episode.
other than moi.
Yeah, well,
You know.
yeah. But it was a great episode.
I taught him everything that I know.
If you missed last night, check
Okay.
out last night's episode. It was really good.
Right.
So
We're
a lot
going to
of
have
fun.
more of it. He's going to be
We
a
are.
regular. I think we're Tuesday nights for the live
Yes,
taping or
even
whatever.
though today's
be part of-
Tuesday. It was starting
Right.
next week, Tuesday nights.
Tuesday
Yes,
nights,
right.
right?
Mhm.
And he'll be on the rotation because we get a lot of questions on that. With help with sales and objections and
Right.
just approach and those
Mhm.
kinds of things.
Yeah, like
And,
as soon as you get an objection from a customer, I need to talk to my wife. I can't make the decision. I need to talk to my wife, or gosh, that was more than I was wanting to spend. Whatever it was, Chris has got an answer for him.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah.
And we just want to give a different face to look at
Mhm.
other than me. I know we got
You have a cute face.
I think so. That's right. That's right. I'm a $1 Million Plumber.
And humble.
But yeah, right. No, but just to give another, he just has a different voice.
He does.
That's
Different
what
voice,
we
different
talk
energy,
about.
different. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And just
It
good.
was a great
So
episode.
he's a part of the $1 Million Plumber team.
Yep.
And he'll be helping you out, and you can check
Mhm.
it out on Tuesday night. It's going to be part of the live social audience because then you can ask direct questions,
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
some good stuff. And we got some other cool stuff coming down
We
the tracks
do.
associated with that.
Not just this wonderful new set, which I'm still loving. I just love. I'm looking at the monitor over
you make it
here.
look good.
And yeah, it looks
Look
so
at
fun. So
All right.
anyway,
So
still
yeah,
love the new
it's kinda,
set.
All right, so kind
Yeah.
of getting used to the
Mhm.
stuff here, but it's fun here.
Yeah, and people sending us stuff that let's see, where is it? The blessed
Right here.
Gina. Well, the two things
got
Gina from Minnesota sent us.
Your
She
little-
made that. Someone made that for us.
A plumber.
She's a plumbing business owner. She is a part of a plumbing power couple in Minnesota.
And you were
TNG.
purposely and wonderfully created.
Yes, and so
Yes,
thank
you
you,
were. Thank
Gina,
you,
so
Gina.
much for that. And she also made the blessed sign behind me.
We get some other
She made
stuff. We
that.
got some other cute stuff
let's-
over here. We
well,
can't
hold
just
on. We
point this
can't
out.
show one
We
that
can't show all the stuff
someone
out
in
here.
Australia sent us. That would
Um,
not be
My
appropriate
mate in
for
Australia.
a family
Right.
show, but it is
I
back
like
there.
it. I've been using it too. you know.
We can't show that on
So,
our show.
but we got a good. This is a plumbing power couple edition
It
of Potty
is.
Talk Live.
That's right.
And
We
so you're
love
going
our
to go over
plumbing
some
power
things
couples.
here. You got,
Mhm. Questions that we get
Yeah.
asked
right. So you
quite a bit.
You came to me, got a bee in your bonnet or
A bee in my
a
bonnet.
bee in your bonnet or something in your bush. I don't know, whatever. We got to go. Let's go over this. We're being asked about this. Let's go over this.
I
Oh,
don't know if there's a
okay.
bee in my bonnet,
All
but
right. And so
yeah.
we're going to go over that.
we are.
Hey, but one of our minds.
Yes. You kind of scared me for a second.
Hey, we got the mastermind group.
Oh, we do.
Starting up here.
We do.
Okay.
And our new mastermind group
What's a mastermind?
just started last
Lovely
Thursday.
Laura.
A mastermind group is a group of people, like-minded people that come together
Isn't she
with
cute?
shared experiences, shared goals, shared vision. For us, it's plumbing business owners from all over United States and Canada that come together and on a video conference call twice a month, and we get to help each other grow, kind of learn from each other's mistakes, share successes, all those things. It is
sounds stupid.
Oops, sorry. No, it is not stupid.
It sounds
Shut
like
up.
something that
It's
stupid
a
people would do.
Great thing for plumbing business owners to be a part of. We
Like,
did that
who
when we
does
were.
something like that?
I don't know. Is there some of them on right now?
Well, we have some of those on. What I'm getting at,
Yes.
very successful people all throughout history.
Yes.
I mean, even just in our recent history, people like Henry Ford,
Steve Jobs.
One of my favorites, Richard Branson,
Sir Richard.
right? Those kinds of guys, all do, and gals are part of these mastermind type groups.
Meet with other people.
It's a powerful tool.
It is.
So if you're looking to, you got a plumbing business and you're looking for help and for information and for some accountability.
But also to have someone know how you feel, right? So you've had a lousy day or a lousy week, and customers and employees and plumbing issues and those things. You can be in this group and you don't have to explain anything. They're just going to know how you feel immediately. So that's exactly. A good feeling. So
So it's a good thing here. So
are you looking at
check it out? Yeah, just kind of seeing who we got here.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody got
I'm
a lot
going to
on.
assume that some of our plumbing power couples and
we
mastermind people
we have some of those on
are part
there.
of. So we really encourage you, if you have your own plumbing business and you just feel like you're all alone, right? You just feel like I'm alone. Nobody understands what I'm going through. I don't have anybody to talk to about my plumbing business or trying to figure some things out. The plumbing mastermind group is for you, and we really encourage you to check it out.
95% of all plumbing businesses fail. I hate to bring up the dark side, but that is the truth. And if you're going in alone, the odds are you're going to die alone. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So hey, simply go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com / mastermind.
Mastermind, all one word. Go there and check it out.
MASTER.
Love to have you part of it.
MIND.
Okay, love to have you a part of it. It's it's the second and fourth Thursday of every month at 7:00 Eastern time. And the new group that just formed, their first meeting was last week, but we're still allowing new members to come on. Or not last week, but it had been the second.
And you'll have access to the back.
Thank you. Yeah, we've got an on-demand library for back episodes. So if you ever miss a meeting
which is a huge opportunity, it was provided this last opportunity.
That's true.
A bunch of free stuff. You get free stuff and that kind of stuff. So
you can go watch past episodes. You can rewatch them as many times as you like. You can pause, rewind.
So do it. You got no excuse.
Yep. So if you are a plumbing power couple, especially if you're a plumbing power couple, husband and wife together, out conquering the plumbing world together, really encourage you to do that, because probably half the people in the group are plumbing power couples. So do it.
Onward to plumbing power couples. That being said, www.themilliondollarplumber.com / mastermind. All
Join
right.
us.
Be
Love
there.
to have you there. Yeah.
All right. Hey, so plumbing power couples here. We got kind of went off here. We're getting hit up with a lot of questions. You hit me up. You said before we're coming on here. Hey, we're getting we get these questions here. Why don't we do something? We answer a couple.
Sure.
In fact, you got them kind of narrowed down.
I do. Because like maybe some of you don't know, we did have our own plumbing business that we started from scratch, from our kitchen table, with
just like you.
No money, zero zip, nada money,
not knowing what we were doing,
zero zip, nada
baby
idea
on the
what
hip.
we were going to do.
The other
baby
ones
on the hip,
tied up in duct tape so they would stop running around.
That's not true.
Okay.
Not on most days. The other two were in school. So yeah, we get it. We know where you're at, and somehow we managed to survive and thrive and figure out how to work together. But boy, oh boy, there were some difficulties in the beginning trying to figure those things out, because it's not normal. It's not natural. No, that's the other way around. It's natural for a husband and wife to work together, but it wasn't normal. So really trying to figure those things out. And we didn't have anybody around to kind of help us to say, here's some pitfalls to avoid, here's some landmines to avoid, and here's some ways to go about it and
you were
be
very
successful.
difficult to work with. It took all my patience.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
Sure. But we've heard all the issues. We have all the same issues of you. So if you're experiencing that frustration, that confusion, even some anger, wondering what the heck did we get ourselves into?
Well, especially the wives, because normally it's the husband that comes and says, okay, I want to quit my plumbing job, leave the company that I work with, and I want to go out on my own. I really have the entrepreneurial bug, and I want to do this for our family and go out on our own. And so the wife is going, what? are you kidding me? How in the world do we do this? How do we manage everything? So one of the questions that we're always asked is how, and I've got them written down here so we can see,
All right, so we get it. Okay.
how
What do we
to
have here?
separate business responsibilities and house responsibilities. And that's obviously a question that the wife asks, because typically
You take care of everything in the house. That's what I
Exactly.
thought this was a great idea. You take care of everything in the house.
Mhm.
You do all the administrative work,
Mhm.
answer the phones,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
And then when
Take
there's
care of your schedule.
right,
Mhm.
take care of my schedule. And when
Mhm.
there's jobs, I'll go do the jobs. In
Mhm.
between the time, I'll hang out at Supply House with the guys. Maybe have lunch at Hooters, with the gang. And
No.
check out.
No.
I thought it was a perfect plan.
And you never went ahead.
That's right.
I gripped you by the neck and
Right.
pulled you back home. No, that I wouldn't allow
I know.
it. So anyway, yeah, separating
wouldn't
it.
want
So
it
that's,
either.
I know. You would not have.
Right.
You're right. So separating those things.
Afternoon delight.
What does that mean?
Working for yourself,
Oh. Okay, so separating house and business responsibilities for the wife, and that it really does happen where the wife ends up doing all of the things that you just said. I mean, that's just the way
It happens.
It's just the way it is, because the husband is out, hopefully doing lots of plumbing jobs, which if that starts to happen, then you'll get to hire someone, so he's not doing as many. But it is difficult for the wife who's got the kids at home and then trying to run the business. We had the luxury that I was able to be at home answering phones and doing my business responsibilities at home as well. But the main thing is having a schedule, really sticking to
It wasn't a
schedule.
luxury. We made the choice. We made the sacrifice to be able to do that. I mean,
That's
we didn't
true.
have this, we didn't do the job. We didn't have the extra, kind
Well, I
of
mean,
stuff.
instead of I didn't go to the plumbing office. I
Right.
stayed home.
Right. So
I
that's one of the
stayed
pluses when we're
Yeah.
starting out, out of your home,
Right.
with that kind of a thing and
Right.
being able to do it.
Right.
And then even when we did we get a shop, we had the office at home and we would transfer the phones, that kind of a thing. So we
Right.
still could do that kind of a thing.
Right. So I could be home because we did have a baby. We had a baby at home, and I didn't want to put her in daycare. So that was tough. But scheduling, that was the biggest thing. I'm a pretty organized person. And I would say typically a husband and wife that goes into business for themselves, normally the wife has the administrative skills and is more organized. That's just typically the way it is. So I stuck to a pretty tight schedule of when I would work on the office things and then when I would focus on the house things. But as soon as we could, we hired outside help for house cleaning. I mean, that's a biggie where you don't feel like you're being attacked by dust bunnies.
And
all
that
the
was a
time.
huge thing. I know you can feel like, and we just had a small, this is not a mansion of a home. We had a small track house,
Yeah.
entry level track house,
Mm-hmm.
in one of those big vinyl villages,
Mhm.
and so it was just a small little track house. So it seemed kind of strange of
Mhm.
having, a couple ladies come in and clean the house,
Mhm.
every other week.
Right.
But that was huge.
Because it was my
provided-
sanity.
Right.
It was my sanity because
And it freed up time.
right. And it would have driven me crazy having, the house just feeling like it's a mess or needs to be dusted or whatever. But knowing that that's going to be taken care of, that was a huge, huge thing off of my plate. But again, the main thing was really developing a schedule, whatever your schedule is. If it's getting up early, I'm a pretty early riser. So I would get up early, still work out. I've
Still
worked
do
out
it, right?
forever. I've just been someone that's gotten up and worked out. But I would get up and work out and then kind of get on things before the kids got up, gets a few things done. And then when the kids got up and got them ready and out to school, and then after that, kind of broke up the day based on naps. And ladies, if your babies aren't taking a nap, they need to be taking a nap. And I can hear you saying, but my baby doesn't like to take a nap. That's okay. They still need to be in bed for a while. For your sanity, right?
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about that, there is a book that I highly recommend, and I can send you a link that a very wise older woman gave to me when I had a baby, and it changed my life.
We
and
hear
that
this,
really
and
helped.
this could be touchy area because we get into kids kind of stuff, and really we get it. We love our kids. We love in fact, our last daughter. We have two sons and a daughter.
Mhm.
Our last has started senior
She's
year
a
of
senior in
high
high
school,
school.
this morning. Got to
Mhm.
see her off.
Yep.
And so we're at that. So we get it, and that's all through the age of having these kids, and when we work with our clients, it's one of the things we hear. You got the kids kind of controlling the environment. That's part of our society today. It's all about the kids. Well, ain't all about the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about your business, your ability to be able to provide for your kids. And your
Right.
kids will be just fine.
Just fine.
They'll
So
be
get
just
it.
fine.
Get your
Right.
kids on a schedule. That's imperative. For you to get anything done,
And-
you and your kids, they just have to be on a schedule, and it's up to you to do that. So I really want to encourage you to do that. And
I mean, Mallory, even as she was 2 years old, 3. I mean, she knew not to be loud when the phone rang.
It was just training, and it was hard.
Right.
It was hard to do that, but it had to be.
And when she wanted something, she'd come in and place her hands on you. I mean, as a 3-year-old.
And we had an interrupt rule, which, gosh, we implemented early, and kind of went into probably longer than what they should have. But anytime we were talking, or if I was on the phone, if they needed me, they would come and put their hand on me to say, I need you. And then they'd have to wait until I either say, excuse me, I need to address this, or whatever it might be. And yeah, that was a fun learning thing for them. And then it got to be where they do this instead of just having their hand.
Instead of dancing and counting. So the whole counting thing.
Or mom, mommy.
And then you finally give in, and it did nothing.
Right. They're like, okay, so it takes me
that many
18 times
they really
to
know
get
how to
her
multiply,
attention. Right.
They really do. So I guess it's good for that.
Wasn't there a thing? I don't watch Family Guy, but I've seen this little cartoon where the football-headed guy, I don't know his name, does that to his mommy. Yeah. And life is like that.
Right.
Moms, I'm sure you can relate. So anyway, creating a schedule, hiring help, and then also planning family time. So the kids know that there's specific time that the family comes together and just gets together just to be a family. And we have talked about that before, where we used to have family night where we make homemade pizza and homemade cookies, and we watch a movie together and just have fun, put blankets on the floor. And the kids looked forward to that. And they knew that was the time that no matter what, that was mom and dad time, and we all got to be together.
Right.
So
the key word there is schedule.
Schedule.
So it's scheduling that time. And I got to admit, guys, I'm not big on that. In fact, it's like, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I don't like it. I mean, I'm free, I'm free falling. I got to be me,
all right.
and that kind of a thing. So, I got to do my own thing.
Yeah.
But it was such a necessity. And so I guess that was, I gave in to your, not gave in, that's a bad thing.
Followed my lead.
I followed your lead on that, and just kind of, even though I had times that I would drop the ball, but gave into that scheduling, because that's really what made it possible. And ultimately, the goal is to be able to create this asset. Again, you're doing this to create this asset, to be able to grow it, to get yourself, your butt out of the truck and out of these different situations.
Hashtag butt out of the truck.
And to be able to grow this asset, to provide for this life for you and your family, and to create this legacy. So. I just had to adapt to those kinds of things.
Right. So schedule.
Schedule is very, very important. Well,
do we have any comments over there that we?
Peter, I've been watching your videos the last few days. Great stuff. Thank you for inspiring me to grow my company.
Peter,
all right, Peter, do it.
High five.
Yep.
High five.
All right. High five to all of you.
Are you does your wife work in the business? Are you a plumbing power couple? Love to hear about that. We love plumbing power couples. So
it's almost a guaranteed win if you're doing it with your wife.
That's correct. Okay.
All right.
Next thing.
What else you got? What else you got?
Number two
Okay.
Number two, question that we get: how do you work together? That was kind of broad-ended. That how in the world do you work together? But mostly, it's how do you determine who does what, right? Because you don't want to be stepping on each other's toes, or one person thinks that the other person's going to do it and vice versa, and then it doesn't get done. That's a biggie. Right. And this is really common, but it's communication. It's really having excellent communication. One is to take a day and sit down away from phones, away from kids, and list out everything, all the responsibilities in the business. Everything from cleaning the office to buying supplies to obviously the accounting, the administrative things, all those things, lay them all out on a piece of paper and then assign them to who has the best gifts and talents to take care of that duty. That saves a lot of headache and a lot of hassle. And normally, again, what happens is, you look really cute. I just kind of looked in your eyes. I was focused on the whole program, but I just looked at your eyes look cute tonight. Sorry about that.
Baby.
What was I saying?
Right,
Your blue eyes got me. Every time your blue eyes get me. So taking responsibilities and splitting them. Normally it is the wife that has the administrative responsibilities, right? That does that the best. But not always. It doesn't have to be that. The main thing is really listing everything out of who's going to be responsible for what.
Exactly right. Taking that time, because we fell into plumbing in the first place. If we're honest with ourselves, we fell into plumbing. When we were little guys or gals, we didn't dream about becoming plumbers or certainly not having a plumbing company. So then we kind of just fall into this plumbing company too. I mean, it's a great thing. You decide, you get in the ring and you decide to do it. So, but we just kind of fall into it. And there's all these, it's now business.
Right.
It's a business. Okay?
Yeah, it's not just fixing toilets and sinks anymore.
And it has, in fact, it's has very little, I was in the Navy. I was an air traffic controller in the Navy during the Top Gun era. Okay, I won't get a story there. But
well, he will tell that Top Gun story one day.
But, in the movie Top Gun, they show these officers and, they're Tom Cruise, pilots, that kind of stuff, and it's like all this flying, rock and roll flying. Well, and the reality of it is with the naval aviators and pilots, it's maybe 10% flying and 90% business, paperwork, all this other kind of crap going on. It's the same with your plumbing business. It's 10% plumbing and it's all this other kind of crap. And that's what guys get buried in and why they wind up, businesses wind up failing.
Right.
And one of the things is, and it's even amplified when you're a couple, because you got the other emotions that come into play. Because as husbands, we can kind of take our wives for granted, And so there's emotions that come into play, and we feel, you hurt the one you love kind of stuff, and you're, and you're a little stronger, and you speak a little stronger, and those kinds of, not that I ever did anything like that, or even now.
I don't even know what you're talking
I'm
about.
Perfect, $1 million plumber. I have arrived, but there was a time, when I maybe, brushed the line
just a
little bit. Okay. But so it has to be, you got to figure these things out. So you got to take the time.
Right. That's
one thing guys don't like to do.
No, they do
sit
not.
down and, look at these kinds of things. And if you don't, you're going to fail.
Right.
I guess I just got to lay it out there. If you don't, you will fail, and your relationship with your wife and your family will suffer.
So wives, take the lead on this. If you're the one that's kind of the more organized, whoever, we'll just say that, whoever's the most organized, take the lead on it and come up with all the responsibilities in the company that you can think of, and then get together with the other person, typically the husband, and come up with more, see if there's anything that's missing on the list. But in doing that, then the person that's not as organized or not as administrative doesn't feel like it's hours and hours of chalkboard, fingernails, things. The other thing is with the communication, and we've talked about this quite a bit, having a weekly planning meeting. Whatever day of the week. We do ours on Friday, where we really take the time and plan out for the next week. What's coming up? What are some things we need to look at? We look back at the week. What are some things we missed? What are some things that we need to address that kind of is outside of the norm? Looking at our schedules. Do the kids have to go somewhere? Like we've got next week, we've got to take our middle son back to school. He goes back to his final year of college. He's a senior. So we have 2 seniors this year, one senior in college and one senior in high school, which seems crazy. But anyway, just looking at the things that's coming up on the schedule so that there is communication and there's not any miscommunication.
So I guess the key word for this question or this topic is communication.
Communication.
Which is extremely important.
Extremely important. And even Sunday nights. Sunday nights, we will look at our phones together, go through the calendar and just see if anything's changed, just so we know we're all on the same page. We're both on the same page.
We're all on the same page.
No, that's not what I meant. Right. Like y'all.
Right.
No. Someone had a question last night and they said, y'all something. And I'm like, oh, it's totally from Texas. Gotta be from Texas. Anyway, so that's communication. Okay.
All right.
The next thing, number 3. So there are 3 things that I want to bring up tonight. One is getting paid. How does the wife get paid?
Paid?
No, we don't get paid.
Wives don't get paid.
That would be crazy. Right. We paid both of us a salary, a smaller salary. And then we also took distributions from the company, which we were an S Corp. So you take distributions. I first would say talk with your accountant because that's something we ran by our accountant, and he structured some things for us. But we both got paid. That way we're both paying into, getting taxes,
into the system.
yeah, Social Security.
So kind of cover those.
Not that Social Security is going to be around probably
right,
when we need it,
but it's the idea of if you're paying for this, and we talk about this, with our clients, who pays for, who pays for all these salaries and that kind of stuff. Your customers pay for that.
Right.
So you don't take, even though you own the company, you don't just live off the profits. That's profits are the companies. Now you can use those, but you want to pay yourself a salary. And so, I'm doing work, which, I'm doing work as a CEO of the company. You're doing work as a co-CEO of the company, or, that kind of a thing. And so we got whatever that work, we had to pay someone to do that work.
Right.
We have to pay for that.
Right. Like if I wasn't there doing the accounting and doing the books and doing scheduling, we'd have to pay someone. Right. So
that we build that in your price. And then I got paid a plumber's salary too. Of course, I got paid very good plumber. An hourly rate because I'm the best.
You're gonna say that.
I'm the best.
Best plumber ever.
Right. So
ever on the planet.
So it was a good gig, man.
But you got customers paying for that. So the other thing too
executive washroom.
we had an executive washroom.
Private gym. Yeah. We did. The company car. The Pinto.
No, the PT Cruiser that we had for a little while with the logo all over it. That way you get phone calls. We've had a PT Cruiser with the Attaboy logo cutting in and out of traffic and cutting people off.
It's people.
So
they were just bothered.
We had to remove the logo and the car. Anyway, also the other thing people ask as a part of that, what about checking accounts? Should we have separate checking accounts for your business and your personal? And absolutely, you absolutely must have two totally separate checking accounts. But we don't, from a husband and wife standpoint, same checking account. Those things should be separate. I know some couples do the separate thing, but gosh, keeping money, which is kind of can be a point of contention sometime. Keeping that separate, that just doesn't seem wise to me.
No.
Keep being together is better. So that's what I have. Those are some of the questions that we get asked.
My pot is your pot.
What is it? What's mine is yours, and what's yours is no. How's it go?
What's mine is mine. What's yours is mine.
Yeah, that's it.
Right,
yeah.
So we trying to. That's kind of how.
So that's it. That's all I have.
Can I not to come in? Can I have some money for Taco Bell today?
Whatever.
She'd look over her glasses at me
with an adding machine.
Right.
Ching, ching, ching. Yeah.
So no, those are common questions.
Those
we
are.
get that a lot.
We do get those a lot.
Somewhere in that area.
And those are some of the things we work with our private coaching clients, our couples, as they're trying to figure some of those things out.
So it comes down to three things. It's dealing with scheduling. Working on your schedule, working on in communication, working on in communication, and then money.
Yeah.
Money's that thing. You're both working for it.
Right.
And
being on the same page. Really to try to figure out, if there are some areas where you disagree, you do have to come to an agreement. It can't be kind of left out there that you're not on the same page.
Right.
So
because then your ship is just kind of floundering out there.
Right.
You're both working on it.
And there's things you compromise on, right? Some things you say, you know what, I don't agree, but I'm going to take your lead on that because you're better at that than I am.
Right.
So
and vice versa. You have to learn you just don't have to win every single battle.
You don't. Okay. We're older, and so we're more seasoned, I guess. Seasoned citizen, not totally seasoned, right? So we can look back at when we were younger, and we had to be right, and I want to be right, and you were wrong, and now we look at it and go, okay, that's so silly.
That doesn't mean those emotions don't still pop up or that kind of thing.
It's just a waste of time.
But it is a waste of time. And the power of being a power plumbing couple or plumbing power couple, PPC, is that both of you want the same thing. As I say, you get Mama Bear and Big Bear, heading the same direction. Nothing's going to get in your way. And so ultimately, you guys want the same thing. So even if you're just kind of doing this, you're both doing this with a lot of power.
Right.
Okay. And so it's a big deal. So it's a big deal. It's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
We highly recommend it.
We do.
Every time we talk with, we talk with people, we don't take everybody on that that wants to be coached, that kind of thing. This is not the right time for them, and that kind of thing. But even we talk with couples, especially couples, we're all over that. We can kind of freak people out because we know when we hear that you're working as a couple, that your odds of winning and being more successful and just carrying the stress, it's so much better.
So much better.
But you got these kinds of things you got to deal with. They are amplified.
Right.
This being aware of your scheduling, being aware of your communication, being aware of the money, those kinds of things.
But we highly, highly, highly recommend it. And even, get advice, get books together. If this is new to you, working together as husband and wife, seek places where you can get information. Don't go it alone. Don't go it alone. That's such a mistake.
Yep. Don't go it alone.
Right. So that's all I have.
Alone, you die. You die.
Yeah. Die?
Yep.
That would be.
You're a dead man plumbing. All right. Dead man plumbing. That's what's being said. You just can't hear it. All right. There you have it. All right. Is that it?
That's
I think
it.
that just wrap it up. We hear that
Yeah.
all those kinds of questions here.
And love to answer any other questions. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and
All right.
we'll look over them the next few days. Love to answer them. Not that we're perfect in everything we do
Well,
by
we're
any
pretty daggone close.
stretch of the imagination, but we've probably experienced most things a husband and wife would experience working together. So,
All right. And if you are interested in having us coach you as a plumbing power couple, all right, and you feel you're ready for that, we can have a conversation.
I'd love to talk to you.
A free conversation, just a little conversation. Simply go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com/coach, and you can schedule your time with us. And we'll have a conversation and see where it leads.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So there we go. It's about time to flush this episode.
It is time to flush this episode.
Okay, but I want to remind them,
Yes.
like I always do.
Yes.
Okay, I want to remind you before you go, as always, you were purposefully and wonderfully created.
It is.
All right.
Yep.
Yes, you were. All right. You weren't a mistake. All right. You didn't crawl out of the slime. All right. You were created to do great things. All right. So when you're out there, as always, plumb like a champion.
Good night, everybody.